Have you ever felt like women do not take you seriously? Like no matter what you do, they seem distant, disinterested, or even irritated by your presence. You try to impress them, but instead of attraction, all you get is indifference, or worse, rejection. Here's the hard truth. Women can sense weakness instantly. They do not always say it outright, but they feel it. And when they do, they lose respect, attraction, and the desire to be around you. It's not about looks, money, or status. It's about the way you carry yourself. But here's the good news. Weakness is not permanent. It's something you can fix, starting right now. Today, we're breaking down 7 signs women see you as weak, and exactly how to eliminate them to become the kind of man women naturally respect, admire, and chase. Trust me, once you understand these signs, you'll start seeing interactions with women in a whole new way. And before we dive in, if you're serious about becoming a high-value man, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. On this channel, we talk about Stoic masculinity, dating psychology, and self-mastery, the kind of knowledge that separates the men who lead from the men who chase. So let's get into it. Trait number 1. You seek validation. One of the biggest signs of weakness? Needing constant approval. If you're always asking, "Do you like me? Are we okay?" Or, "Did I do something wrong?" You're waving a giant red flag of insecurity. Women do not respect men who constantly seek validation. They respect men who validate themselves, men who move through life with certainty regardless of external opinions. Think about it. Who is more attractive? The guy who anxiously waits for her reply, overanalyzing every text? Or the guy who sends a message and does not even think twice about it because he's too busy living his life? The second man is attractive because he's not dependent on her response. His energy says, "I'd love for you to be part of my world, but I do not need you to complete it." This is not just dating advice, it's a core principle of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, once said, "The approval of others is a poor substitute for one's own judgment." In other words, the moment you rely on others to feel good about yourself, you hand over your power. And women can sense that immediately. Now let's be real. Women will test you. They'll pull away just to see how you react. And if you start panicking, double texting, or over-explaining yourself, they lose respect instantly. The right move. Stay unbothered. Let her wonder. Let her come back on her own, because the moment she realizes your validation comes from within, that's when she starts chasing you instead. Remember, real confidence comes from within, not from others. Trait number 2. You avoid conflict. Weak men fear confrontation. They let people walk over them, avoid saying no, and think being nice will win respect. But here's the truth. If you do not stand up for yourself, no one else will. And women? They sense this immediately. Women instinctively test men by pushing boundaries. If you fold under pressure, if you hesitate to speak your mind, she will not see you as strong. She'll see you as a man who can be manipulated. And once that happens, respect is gone. Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "No person has the power to have you think or do anything against your will." Meaning, if you let fear control your actions, you're already defeated. Strong men handle conflict with calm authority. They do not seek fights, but they do not avoid them either. So next time someone disrespects you, whether it's a woman, a coworker, or even a stranger, hold your ground. Speak clearly, set boundaries. Because a man who fears conflict will never be truly respected. Remember, weak men avoid conflict. Strong men handle it with calm authority. Trait number 3. You apologize too much. There's a difference between being polite and being overly apologetic, and weak men do not know where to draw the line. They say sorry for things that do not require an apology. They apologize for taking up space, for having opinions, for simply existing. And every time they do, they shrink in the eyes of others. Women do not respect men who act like they need permission to breathe. They respect men who own their presence. Imagine two men, one constantly apologizing, hesitating, and tiptoeing around conversations, and another who speaks directly, without unnecessary excuses. Who commands more respect? Who leaves a stronger impression? Always the man who stands firm in his words and actions. Stoic wisdom teaches us to control what is within our power. Seneca once said, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." When you constantly apologize for things that do not matter, you create unnecessary self-doubt and lower your value in the eyes of others.
So unless you've actually done something wrong, stop apologizing. Instead of saying, "Sorry, can I ask you something?" say, "I have a question." Instead of, "Sorry for interrupting," say, "I have something to add." These small changes make a huge difference. A strong man does not seek approval. He asserts himself with confidence. And that's exactly what earns respect. Remember, apologizing too much makes you look weak. Own your presence. Trait number 4, you cannot control your emotions. Nothing screams weakness louder than a man who cannot control his emotions. If you get angry over minor things, react impulsively, or let frustration dictate your actions, you instantly lose a woman's respect. Why? Because emotional instability signals a lack of inner strength, and women do not trust weak men. A weak man lets his emotions control him. A strong man, he controls his emotions. He does not lash out when things do not go his way. He does not beg, argue, or over-explain himself to win someone's approval. Instead, he remains calm, collected, and composed. That's what makes a man truly powerful. The Stoics believe that true strength comes from mastering yourself. Seneca said, "A man is as miserable as he thinks he is." Meaning, your emotions do not control you. Your mindset does. The moment you realize this, you stop being reactive and you start commanding respect. Think about it. Who commands more respect? The guy who loses his cool over a text left on read? Or the man who remains unshaken, unfazed, and completely in control? Women are naturally drawn to men who exude calmness and emotional stability, because that's the kind of man they can trust and admire. Remember, emotional control is power. Stay calm, stay respected. Trait number 5, you are too afraid to take risks. A weak man stays in his comfort zone. He avoids taking risks, whether it's in his career, his social life, or with women. He waits for the perfect moment, but that moment never comes, and eventually he's left behind. Here's the truth. Women respect men who take action. They admire men who take risks, whether that means approaching them with confidence, making bold life choices, or standing by their decisions. A man who hesitates, who second-guesses himself, who fears failure. That's a man who loses respect before he even gets a chance to earn it. Stoic philosophy teaches us that fear is an illusion. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Meaning, most of the things you're afraid of, rejection, failure, embarrassment, are just in your head. Strong men push through that fear and take action anyway. Women are wired to respect men who take charge, not reckless gamblers, but men who know what they want and go after it. Because at the end of the day, a man who fears taking risks is a man who fears living. Remember, a life without risks is a life without respect. Trait number 6, you are comfortable with discomfort. Weak men run from discomfort. They avoid challenges, complain about hardships, and choose the easy path every time.
But here's the thing, nothing worth having comes easy. If you always seek comfort, you'll never grow. And if you never grow, you'll never earn respect. Strong men, on the other hand, understand that struggle builds character. They embrace challenges, they face adversity head-on, and they never back down from the grind. They do not whine about the struggle, they thrive in it. And that's exactly why women respect them. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from enduring hardship without complaint. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Meaning? Life will test you. Women will test you. The world will test you. The question is, will you rise to the challenge, or will you break under pressure? A man who embraces discomfort is a man who commands respect, because he proves through his actions that he is stronger than his struggles. Remember, weak men quit, strong men endure. Trait number 7, you do not fear losing anyone. One of the biggest signs of weakness? Being afraid to walk away. Weak men cling to relationships, chase after people who do not respect them, and beg for validation. But a strong man, he never fears losing anyone. Because he knows his worth. He knows that his value is not tied to any single person, and if someone does not see it, he moves on without hesitation. Women test men by pulling away, acting distant, or playing mind games. And the weak man, he panics, he overcompensates, he does anything to fix the situation. But the strong man, he stays calm. He understands that respect is earned, not begged for. And if someone does not value him, that's their loss. Stoic wisdom teaches us to let go of attachment. Epictetus said, "Never depend on the admiration of others. There is no strength in it." Meaning, a man who relies on external approval is never truly free. But a man who values himself first, he's untouchable. And here's the irony. The moment you stop fearing loss, people chase you harder. Why? Because confidence in yourself is the most attractive trait of all. A man who can walk away is a man who commands respect. Remember, respect comes when you're not afraid to walk away. So, here's the truth, brother. Women do not follow words, they follow energy. They feel your confidence, your presence, your purpose. And if any of these signs hit home, it's not too late. You can fix this. You can level up. But it starts with a decision, the decision to stop living small and start living with strength. Remember, being a high-value man is not about being perfect. It's about being aware, taking control, and building unshakable self-respect. Stoicism teaches us that you are responsible for who you become. So ask yourself right now, who do you want to be? The man who gets tested, or the man who gets respected? If you're ready to transform into your most powerful self, the kind of man women respect, chase, and admire, then join this journey. Subscribe to Stoic Alpha right now for more content that sharpens your mind, strengthens your game, and builds your masculine edge. And tell me in the comments, which of these signs have you seen in yourself, and what are you doing to fix it? We're building a brotherhood here, men who think deeper, live better, and attract more, not by chasing, but by becoming.